Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. You are here with Alchemy Attitude Artistry. My name is Charmaine, and I was asked to do a video on my swipe technique. Today's video, the canvas size will be a 24 by 20 canvas. The lineup for the colors are very much the metallic accents by Rust-Oleum. So my base paint will be a combination, a custom color between the pearl white pearl rather, and the real pewter, which makes a really lovely, soft, almost white gray, if you can see that, and that's my consistency of my base paint. I'll talk about my base point paint and what I add to it as my pouring medium as well in a minute. Some of the other colors that I have that I'm going to be putting in today, these are straight out of the bottle with my pouring medium, and that's the soft gold by the Rust-Oleum Metallics. And then the other one that I have as well is the classic bronze by Rust-Oleum. Are going to be a couple of my colors there. And then I have a custom color. This really pretty pink rose color, and it is the Alizarin Crimson Permanent by Artist Loft, mixed with Sangria, this little piggy, pigments. And then I have this really pretty blue, and it's the golden manganese blue hue mixed with this little piggy as well, and it's the indigo wave. That's the color lineup that we have going on today. Hopefully it will go as well as my last one did. I'm just going to move some things out of the way just so that I have a little bit of room to move. And then also I'm going to be swiping with a black, I think it's a lamp black, and that's my cell activator, which is Australian Floetrol 4:1 with my 1 part lamp black paint as well. That'll be my swipe color. And with respect to the pouring medium that I use, I actually am putting into my base coat paints the Behr Deep Base 8300 High Gloss Interior Exterior base paint and a gloss Varathane, and I do it 1:1 ratio. And then I add into my colors as well, just enough water to make it very liquid so that it runs and I can swipe easily across my canvas. So without further ado, that I think is all of the pieces that you need to know. I'm just going to clean off my canvas really quickly, put on my gloves because I like to actually run my hands. Once I put my base paint down, I like to run my hands around the edges just to make sure that they're all covered really, really well. And because this is a very light colored base, making sure that I get that well coated is important. So I'm going to put down my base paint, which is the combination of the pearl white and the real pewter, and give that a very healthy amount on the bottom of my canvas. Get that down. I don't want to save a little bit just in case I need to go somewhere else with it around the edges and that kind of thing. So thanks so much for tuning in today. I appreciate that. This is my very second video, so I will apologize now. Please be patient. I am learning this like everyone else moving forward on this paint pouring journey, but I have had some success with this paint swipe technique, and I have had requests from a few people off of our acrylic paint pouring for beginners Facebook group, and I thought I would share so that everybody can learn at the same time what I have discovered and has been made easy for me. So I will apologize now if I talk too much or if I natter on. You will forgive me, I am sure. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Now I'm just trying to get enough of my paint down on my canvas. I will try to tilt a little bit just to give it a smoother pillow, if you will, or flood on my canvas. And I actually do have a cake decorating tool that I will use on the top in half a second. In the meantime, I am now done with my gloves. I can take those off, put them to the side, and get my cake decorating tool and just smooth it out a bit now that I've put my fingerprints all over the canvas. Makes a bit of a mess. And since I'm going to be swiping, I'm not too concerned about having a smooth surface because I'm going to be dragging paint across it anyway. It's probably going to break up a little bit as I move it along. I just want to make sure that I have some coverage on my canvas in all areas. There isn't too much in the center. There's seems to be a lot in that one particular area. So I'm just going to take a little bit off just to tone it down a bit. I don't need that much on my canvas. See how it's dripping? There we go. Just throw it back in my cup and I'll use it in another pour. There we go. Good enough. Without belaboring it too much, I'm sure you've all flooded a canvas before. You don't need my direction with respect to that. So I will get on with the swipe. Do still have a little bit too much on the canvas there. Need to take a little bit off. When I bring it to the edge of my canvas, it seems to have a lot on my tool, and I don't want that much on there. So just take a little bit off without digging in to what I've got down already. A lot on this side here. You can just see it. It's going to dry. Take a long time to dry, and I will also run the risk of having it crack, and I don't want that. That's why I'm taking off some of this off of my canvas. So there, okay, set that aside and wipe my hands now that I've gotten paint all over them. And let's get our colors down on our canvas before our canvas dries too much. Okay. So I'm just going to take my colors, give them a quick mix, just because they've been sitting all afternoon. I'm going to put down my real bronze, go from one side to the other and about halfway. It doesn't have to be an exact halfway mark, but I'm going to put down a good healthy amount onto my canvas. Make sure it goes over the edge, come back and add a little bit more. I want a heavy enough line that I'm going to have some good amount that I can drag down to the other end of my canvas and down to this end of my canvas. I think I will put down my blue next. I like the look of blue and brown together. Which is the bronze. And I'm going to put on my gold. And you'll see I'm doing a fairly wide stripe here in the center, putting down lots of color so that I have enough that will take me to the end of my canvas. And then I'm going to add in some of my crimson, alizarin crimson as well. Back to my blue, I think, a little bit more there around the outer edges. There we go. Okay. And I also have a little bit of white, just to brighten it up a little bit, which is the pearl white, which is what is in my base coat as well. So it's the pearl white by the Rust-Oleum. So just going to add a little bit of the white there as well. There we go. Good. Now that my colors are layered, the fun part begins. We're going to swipe. And what I did was I put down some napkins in front of my canvas. You probably can't see them, but they're just in front of the canvas. And I like to swipe with my paper towels, which I've cut in half. I take and I use the straight edge, not the cut edge. I take the straight edge as my swiping tool. But before I do that, what I like to do is I like to take and actually wet my paper towel slightly on the edge that I'm going to use. But before I can get started, what I forgot to do was put down my cell activator. My cell activator is my Australian Floetrol 4-to-1 with the, I think it is the Lamp Black. I'm going to put down a heavy dollop of that as well. Remember that I've got to have enough there because I am going to be swiping both directions. So I want to have enough for me to be able to swipe one direction and swipe the other direction. So I have to have enough down to do that. I can always go back and put in more of my swipe color, my cell activator, but just because I'm here, I might as well do it now. Okay, that's it. Oh, a little bit extra over on this end of the canvas as well. Can use that. There we go. Okay, I always put my cell activator off to the side, away from my other colors, just in case, so I don't get confused. So it's just a bottle of water and I'm just wetting it. So I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to make it smaller. The cut edge I'm bringing in, and I just want to have it so that it's within my fingertips like this. And I will take it and I will place it on the edge about halfway through that cell activator, just touching the black cell activator, and then very, very, very slowly, I'm going to drag it forward on my canvas, making sure it doesn't lift at all. Slowly, slowly, slowly. I'm taking my time. so that the color and my hands stay steady against the base. And then when I get to the end, what I'm going to do is run my paper towel down the side, allowing the paper towel to touch the sides so that my design also gets dragged down the side of the canvas. Okay. And I'm just going to carry on doing that across the rest of the canvas. I'm sorry, this is the boring part, but it does, maybe we will be talking about corrections that I need to make, and hopefully it's not too boring for you. I'm just making sure that my paper towel connects with the last swipe that I did so that there aren't any major lines between where my base is showing through, but I have no color. And I'm just taking my time, very gently pulling it along. When I get to the edge, I'm going to step back just a wee bit and allow it to just slide off and along the edge of the canvas so that I have my design also showing on the side, on the top and the bottom rather. Okay. Just wetting my paper towel and getting my next one ready. Okay. And one more swipe and see how we make out on that one. Just making sure that both ends across the top are completely in the cell activator before I start pulling. And then doing it very, very, very slowly down my canvas, trying not to wiggle too much, but wiggling is all part and parcel of this, I suppose, because I'm not that steady as I go along. You'll find that because it's a very controlled motion, your muscles will actually start to say, hey, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? We don't like it. And they start to shake, and that's where the shakiness comes in, because you're in a prone position. And then I just take my paper towel and drop it down on the paper towels that I have in the front of my canvas. And then with this one piece, it's smaller. So what I will do is I will take the cut side closest to me away from the canvas and make my swipe tool, the paper towel, just a little bit smaller. Instead of going the long side, I'm going the short side. And then I just fold over my paper towel and go at it again. One more time. My edge was torn, so sorry. My edge was torn, and because my edge was torn, the corner was torn, I was afraid that it was going to leave a mark in my swipe, so I'm switched my paper towel out for a better one that does not have a torn corner. And just putting that down into my cell activator and going again. just making sure that the edge of my paper towel as well hits on the side of the canvas that is closest to you, so that some of that black, make sure that it gets that area as well. Like, what I don't want is I don't want kind of a stripy effect on the side at the end of my swipe, if you know what I mean. Not sure that I'm being very clear, but when I'm finished this swipe, I will show you what I mean. And slowly bringing it to the edge and just allowing it to fall off the side of the canvas. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that this side of the canvas, this edge was getting some of the black. I do have a bit of a stripe there. I'm not too concerned about it because I'm going to have lots of silver throughout the whole canvas anyway. Now that I've gotten that side done, what I'm going to do is stick my hand underneath and spin my canvas to the other side so that I can swipe toward me instead of trying to swipe away from me, because it is a big canvas and I'm a short person. I'm going to adjust for me. Okay, and now we're just going to swipe the other side, and hopefully we have the same process, and hopefully it works just as well. And I think I have enough of the cell activator on this side as well. I don't need to touch it up. Maybe here, but honestly, I don't think so. And we'll just go again. Just laying my paper towel down in that black cell activator and pulling it very gently, making sure I don't go too fast or lose too much of my cell activator or my paint colors that are all under there. Just making sure I get good coverage, go slowly. And I wish I knew something about videos. I would actually fast forward this or go more quickly to make it less boring, but I'm sorry, I haven't gotten that far in my development of videography. So first one done, looks good. I've got lots of black on this side. And at least with this video, you don't have to listen to my blow dryer, which is good because the last time my blow dryer was on and I don't know how to get rid of that sound either. So maybe somebody can reach out to me and tell me how to do these things. If you could, that would be great. But in the meantime, hopefully you aren't too bored. And another stripe coming up. And I have one, I didn't notice the edge of my paper towel was not exactly straightened. You see, I've got a big stripe here, but I think it'll be okay. I'm going to leave it because sometimes those little errors make for a really interesting design feature. So I'm not going to judge too quickly just yet. If I have to fix it, I can fix it. But for now, I'm going to leave it and not worry too much. Okay. Second to last one, guys. Are you getting bored with me already? I hope not. This is just a laborious process, and I apologize. There's no easy way to do this swipe technique any faster than I'm already doing it. I mean, I'm sure you could. I'm just a beginner like you, and I am learning as we go. And I don't want to take any chances, and I want to be able to show you a product that looks good that you can try yourselves. I do see that I have a couple of bubbles, and I'm just gonna try and pop them. And sometimes they don't pop easily with the toothpick with this with these particular products, so I just stick my finger in it. What have I got to lose? So it's just paint, right? That's the important thing. It's just paint. Okay, and last one. Hopefully it's selling up nicely, so that's a good thing. And see if we can make this one work well too. Okay. Seem to have some stripes happening on this one side. I don't know why. Okay, and over the waterfall we go. Making sure we have a nice pattern and design on the bottom. Now, because I have, I'm got my canvas on little yogurt cups, I seem to have lost my design on the edge. So I'm going to try and just touch it on the edge and pull it down. And maybe, yes. Okay, so I have a bit of a design there on the corner as well. My yogurt cup got in the way. So the other thing that I can do is I take a balloon and I can do some balloon kisses into it. I won't do it right now only because it's very, very, very wet, but I do want to kind of do some ballooning on the side here where my paint rolled off the side, just to clean it up a little bit. And there you go. Just make it look like it's supposed to be there. Doesn't look very pretty, unfortunately. So let's get rid of that. And then I can take my balloon kisses and go down the center of my canvas. And all I'm going to do is just touch my balloon. I'll try one. But I think my paint right now is just too wet. But what I want to do is I want to expose the that pretty pewter and white underneath. See if, there we go. So it gives it a little bit of a design. Not much of anything, but gives it a bit of a design. Also gets rid of some of that black cell activator in the center. Yeah, it's just too wet right now. When it dries up a little bit, it's a little easier to balloon kiss. The kisses actually stay in the paint a little bit better. Right now it's got a bit of a design, but it's certainly not, it's not as pretty as I'd like it to be. So that's it. Not bad. Hopefully I will post the dry results for you, and you can see what it looks like once it's dry. I can use some cell activator and come down on these stripes. But right now, I think they look pretty good. So I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm not going to play with it too much. I want the cell activator to cell up a little bit more. And hopefully it will dry really great. And you'll see the results on the Acrylic Paint Pouring for Beginners Facebook website. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining me.